In the opening scene, we are introduced to an insurance broker named Alain Duval, who is busy playing video games on his computer. Soon after, he is interrupted when he receives a phone call from his wife Marie, instructing him to meet her at a specific location. It turns out Alain was supposed to meet her to look for a prospective new house, but he completely forgot about it. Nonetheless, he hurries to the location and joins Marie, where they meet with a real estate agent named Frank Chase. After the introductions, Frank guides them through the house and showcases its notable features, including a spacious living room, a well-appointed kitchen, and an inviting bedroom. While exploring the property, Marie's attention is drawn to an abandoned junk car nearby, prompting her to inquire about it. Frank assures her that he will have the car removed very soon. In the next scene, despite being impressed with the house overall, the couple find it somewhat oversized for their needs, so they begin contemplating whether or not to proceed with the purchase. Hearing their doubts, Frank reveals that the house has a secret, which makes it the most unique house in the world. He then takes them to the basement and unveils a manhole cover, claiming that a life-altering secret lies beneath. The couple is hesitant at first as they believe that the manhole merely leads to a sewer, but Frank manages to convince them to venture down. Ultimately, the couple follows the shrewd real estate agent and descends into the depths of the basement. Much to their astonishment, the tunnel leads them to the first floor of the very same house they were in moments ago. That's not even all. The couple realizes that it is now daytime, despite entering the tunnel in the evening. Overwhelmed with shock, Alain and Marie turn to Frank for an explanation. The agent then explains that this tunnel causes anyone who enters to reverse aging by 3 days, but makes time fast forward by 12 hours. That means that the couple are now 3 days younger than before. With this realization, Marie becomes a bit excited, as she has always wanted to live past 100. Hence, she convinces her husband to purchase the house. The scene then cuts to a few days later, and we see that Alain and Marie have settled comfortably into their new home. In order to celebrate the occasion, they share a drink together. A few more days pass by, and Alain gets back to his regular routine, while Marie becomes increasingly obsessed with the basement tunnel, prompting her to repeatedly venture through it in hopes of getting younger. On a particular day, Alain's boss Gerard, accompanied by his girlfriend Jean, pays a visit to their new home. Upon arrival, Gerard's attention is immediately drawn to the abandoned car in the junk. Being a car enthusiast, he examines the vehicle and suggests that Alain should restore and utilize it, emphasizing its exceptional quality. However, Alain, who has little interest in cars, does not pay much attention to his suggestion. Meanwhile, as the conversation unfolds, Marie emerges from the tunnel and joins the gathering. Here, it is revealed that she had entered the tunnel the previous day. Later on, the four of them gather for dinner, during which Jean urges her boyfriend to disclose his new secret. As a result, Gerard hesitantly reveals that he has recently underwent an electronic penis He's got himself an electronic penis transplant, and he now controls it using his smartphone. He can make it stand, sit, and even dance. The revelation creates an awkward moment, but Gerard casually dismisses it, stating that it represents modern technology. After this, Alain also contemplates sharing the secret of their new home, but Marie vehemently forbids him from doing so. Later, the guests leave, and Marie requests her husband to accompany her to the time-traveling portal, but he declines, citing that he has a lot of work. Because of this, she angrily enters the portal alone. The next day at work, Alain is engaged in a phone conversation with one of the clients when he is summoned to Gerard's office. Upon entering his cabin, Gerard asks how Alain feels about his new electronic transplant. In response, Alain talks positively, stating that organ transplants have become very common in today's generation. He further explains that he's not going to judge Gerard for it, making him happy. Back at home, Marie descends from the time-traveling portal after 12 hours and becomes fixated on her photographs from when she was young. Her ultimate goal is to get back to her youth and become a model. Just then, an idea comes in her mind, and she places a mirror in front of the portal's exit. This way, she can assess any visible changes in her appearance each time she gets out of it. After this, a desperate Marie once again heads down to the basement and enters the portal. 12 hours later, she emerges, only to find that Alain is already asleep. Marie rudely awakens him and asks if he notices any difference in her appearance. However, Alain disappoints her by stating that she appears the same as before. Following this, he tells her about a cat which he found at the basement earlier that day. He says that the cat sat on the basement's hatch and meowed to him as if it was trying to tell him about the portal. Assuming it to be a warning sign, Alain suggests that they permanently shut the portal down. However, Marie dismisses his concerns, saying that he is overthinking the situation. Firm in her belief, she once again heads towards the basement and enters the portal. The following day, Alain visits Gerard's office to discuss business matters, but the latter diverts their conversation and asks him out on a shooting practice session instead. As they arrive arrive at the shooting range, Gerard enthusiastically fires various guns, while Elaine, who is unfamiliar with such activities, observes from the sideline. Gerard sets his electronic penis to bullseye. Shortly after, as Gerard is handling a shotgun, he experiences some strong recoil that startles him and throws him off balance. The aftermath of the accident leaves Gerard with a severe injury to his transplanted penis. Unfortunately, because of this, he loses control over his transplanted organ. Now, it can no longer dance. Overwhelmed with panic, Gerard tells everything to Elaine, and the latter suggests that he repair it. However, it is not that easy, as the entirety of Europe lacks the necessary expertise for the procedure, given that Gerard's transplant took place in Japan. But despite his busy schedule, Gerard decides to travel to Japan for the necessary repairs. Before his departure, he entrusts Elaine with full responsibility for the business and requests that he take care of Jean. Later, in accordance with his boss's instructions, Elaine goes to the bookstore where Jean works and lies to her that Gerard has left the country on a business trip. However, she remains skeptical and harbors suspicions that Gerard may be involved with other women. As a result, she also makes sexual advances towards Elaine, but he firmly rejects her and walks away. On the other hand, despite Marie's repeated journeys through the time-traveling portal, she fails to notice any significant changes in her appearance. Assuming that the portal isn't working, she decides to conduct an experiment using a rotten apple. Surprisingly, when she goes inside the portal and emerges with the apple, it is no longer rotten. This reveals that the portal is, indeed, working. The same night, Marie shares her discovery with her husband, suggesting that the portal really does have the power to reverse the aging process. However, Elaine, who is completely uninterested and frustrated with Marie's obsession over the portal, dismisses her discovery. He openly admits that he has other important things to worry about. This sparks a heated argument between the husband and wife. In the midst of this turmoil, Elaine takes a bite from the same experimented apple, only to discover that it is infested with ants. This deeply concerns him, as he believes that his wife has also been infested by the same insects. Hence, he quickly rushes her to a clinic. Upon arrival, they meet the doctor and inquire if it's possible for a human body to contain living ants within. However, the doctor believes that they are joking and sends them away angrily. On their way back home, Elaine expresses his fear that Marie might only appear youthful on the outside, while aging rapidly internally. However, the greedy woman remains adamant to become a renowned model. And immediately upon reaching home, Marie disregards her husband's pleas and promptly descends to the basement to enter the portal once again. Meanwhile, in Japan, Gerard is seen undergoing the necessary repairs for his transplant. In the process, he contacts Elaine and requests him to purchase a birthday gift for Jean. Elaine hesitates as he knows nothing about the girl, but his boss insists on him doing so, asking him to select something girlish. As a result, Elaine makes his way to a nearby supermarket, where he selects a purse as a gift. Following this, he exits the store and coincidentally runs into Frank. Taking this opportunity, Elaine inquires about the potential health implications of using the time-traveling portal. In response, Frank advises him to use the portal very moderately, cautioning that excessive use can lead to severe physical and psychological consequences. In addition, Frank suggests that sealing the portal might be the best course of action if it is getting too troublesome. With this advice in mind, Elaine proceeds to Jean's workplace to present her with the gift. However, upon arrival, he witnesses her making out with another man, prompting him to walk away quickly. As days go by, Marie's obsession with regaining her youth intensifies, driving her to spend the majority of her time within the portal. Elaine attempts to bring her back to normalcy, but this only results in further arguments between the two. At one point, Elaine contemplates sealing the portal to put an end to the chaos, yet Marie adamantly stops him from doing so. On the other hand, Gerard returns to France after successfully resolving his transplant issue. However, he is not come alone. He has actually made a new girlfriend, whom he ultimately marries. But because of Gerard's dancing stick, the marriage doesn't last long and they are eventually separated. After this, Gerard experiences a series of unsuccessful relationships with other women. One fateful day, he is driving along the highway when a sudden fire engulfs his transplant. The unexpected distraction causes his vehicle to skid off the road and flip over, tragically leading to his demise. The movie then cuts to several years later. After passing through the time portal thousands of times, Marie eventually emerges from it as a youthful 19-year-old girl. However, despite her transformed appearance, she doesn't find happiness as she struggles in her attempts to become a model. This leads to mounting frustration, which gradually affects her mental well-being. One day, Marie reaches a peak point and experiences a severe mental breakdown, because of which she has to be admitted to a mental care hospital. While she is away, Elaine finally closes the portal, putting an end to their time-traveling escapades. The final scene depicts the the hospital, where Marie, consumed by her inner anxiety, shatters a glass and then tries to commit the unthinkable. But to her shock, the wound unveils a disturbing revelation. Marie's body is also infested with ants, meaning that the portal had been corrupting her all along. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.